Hi, I'm Steve Russell and welcome to the service reception of Russell Automotive Centre and Garage Express. Now I thought I'd bring you inside today just because it's a lot warmer in here than it is out in the workshop today. Now what I thought I'd show you is one of these. Now this is an engine wiring loom which is connected to the engine control unit. Now the reason why this is sitting on the floor and not in one of my customers' cars is because the customer came in complaining of the engine running badly and the engine warning light on. Now we had a look at it, we did a diagnosis test and we found it had many faults in the engine control unit which all seemed to track down to a poor connection somewhere. So we had a look and then we found a small problem that caused a huge problem. Now what this is here, this is a coolant valve that controls the amount of coolant or antifreeze that goes to the heater system. Now what had happened, this valve had started leaking. It was leaking through the electrical connection, which then made the electrical connection become corroded. Then the corrosion ran all the way up the wiring loom, all the way through here, all the way along here, all the way up here, and continued to corrode into the engine control unit. Now what had happened is the wiring had become corroded. The corrosion was actually a lot worse, and as you can see all that green stuff there, we actually had to clean it before we replaced it because the car had to drive in and out, so we didn't want it to be as bad as it previously was. So we cleaned it up, and if you'd have seen at the beginning, it was a lot worse than that. This whole control unit connection was wet. This control unit inside is wet and it needs to be replaced. Now what happened, if the customer would have come to us right at the beginning when his engine warning light first came on, we could have replaced just this unit, we could have cleaned up these connections, and that would have been all that needed to be done. But because the corrosion went on for so long, I think it was actually a few months that the customer drove along with the engine warning light on, the corrosion was so bad that there was no way we could repair it. We would have to replace it, and it also destroyed the engine control unit as well. So this whole wiring loom that goes all the way around the engine, and it goes down to the gearbox as well, had to be replaced. So if we had got it right at the beginning, it would have only cost the customer a couple of £100 to replace that unit and a minor wiring repair, but because we had to replace all of this incredibly expensive parts, it was actually a few £1,000s it actually ended up costing the customer. So the moral of the story is, if you do have an engine warning light on, let us have a look at it as soon as possible. So I hope that wasn't too much of a scare story, but a good education in letting us have a look at the engine warning light as soon as it comes on, because sorting these things out as soon as possible could end up saving you a lot of money. So until next time, see you again at Russell Automotive Centre and Garage Express.